Hi, my name is Austin Roeda, and this is my wife, Allison Roeda, and we're really excited to share with you guys what we've decided to partner with.
Yeah, we're going to be leaving the U.S. in July for a year, and we are partnering with an organization called Adventures in Missions, and we're going to be participating in one of their programs called the World Race.
A big reason why we decided that we wanted to do Adventures in Missions, really started back when Alice and I met in St. Louis, Missouri at a student missions conference called Urbana. And there the seeds of missions kind of really began to get planted. The World Race kind of really came in and presented us with an opportunity that gave us a chance to really experience what is God up to in each of these parts of the world. What is he doing, specifically with the villages and with these pastors in the local churches.
And we do firmly believe that missions takes place wherever you're planted, whether that's your home community, it's somewhere abroad. And for us, that's looked different in our first 3 years of marriage. We've lived in 3 different places, but now we really feel called to this season of tasting what God's up to in different places because we're so open to the Lord taking us somewhere long term. Yeah, and during this 11 months that we're on the field, we'll have 2.5 weeks of training before we leave and debriefs in between, so it'll total out to be about a year, but we'll spend 4 months of it in Africa, the first 4, and we'll spend 4 months of it in Southeast Asia, and then the final 3 months will be in South America. There's a vast amount of need that is overwhelming to think about as we process where we're going and what we're going to be doing and the lives that we're going to touch. We're going to areas that are full of refugees, are full of widows and orphans and children who don't have access to education, people who are swept up in the slave trade and experiencing the results of sex trafficking, and those are things that only the Lord can break through and the Lord can restore and the Lord can heal. And we're excited to not just read about them and pray into them as we have been and will continue to do regardless of the outcome of this year, but to have our hands in the middle of it and our hearts in the middle of it and allow the Lord to use us, to allow our hands and our feet to be His, to love people and to see restoration take place, to see healing take place, and to partner with ministries that are rooted in those communities and making a long-term difference, and with our team hopefully augment and be a part of the transformation that's taking place.
It really requires a lot of challenge in the places we're going to where there's not going to be a lot of amenities. Mm-hmm. There's not going to be a lot of comfort. There really is going to be some challenges, having to live out of a tent for an entire year, having to backpack into these countries to where everything that we're going to be doing for this entire year is really going to come out of a 70-liter backpack, and that's all your clothes, your books, every single part of your life is really going to fit within that whole backpack. And that's really going to be a big part of our ministry is sometimes hiking into some of these unreached areas or really taking buses to some of these remote regions and really going to places that have no contact with other people, but really going the extra mile and putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations to try and reach people.
In preparation for leaving, both of us are quitting our jobs and we'll be selling the majority of our material belongings, which is a huge step of faith for us because it really is laying out our hand before the Lord and saying here we are, and whatever you want after this initial year is yours, and we're moldable and we're movable because we're mobile. We'll be little backpacks and that's about it.
And the next thing that I want to kind of invite you guys into partnering with us is in prayer. And we really would ask that you guys would partner with us by praying for these 3 specific things. And the first thing being praying for our marriage. I feel like one of the things that we're really going to be encountering in the World Race is a lot of dark things. When we're out there in the field, there's going to be seeing some of those really tough things with the sex trafficking and sometimes with the slavery and just the poverty, and some of those things can be hard to process at times, as well as sometimes the enemy tries to break us up with our communication between one another. And one thing that we really hope to keep at the center of this trip is our ministry that we have to one another. That's one of the first things that we committed to with each other before we even went on to partner with the World Race. The second thing that we would ask people to partner with us in and praying for is for the regions of the world that we'll be going for. So in Africa, just really helping the locals there to really be ready to receive us and the local churches that we're going to be working with, as well as the same thing in Southeast Asia, especially some of the areas that have been closed countries before and where it's not openly available to be able to talk about God, and just those areas that God would set up those divine appointments for us to be able to communicate and to be able to meet those people, and we would have those things set up for us. And the same goes for South America, that there wouldn't be any cultural barriers or any language barriers, that God would really put the people and the pieces in place that need to be there so we can be there. Our third point would really be, before we leave in August, that we would be able to be fully funded, because a big part of the World Race is not only having this prayer support, but also being able to receive the amount of money we need to be able to even launch.
And the next way that you can partner with us in helping us reach that goal of becoming fully funded by the time we leave is through financial support. Our total fundraising goal is $38,000, which covers all of our food, lodging, travel, medical insurance, travel insurance, and any related ministry expenses that our team puts together for special projects and things that we plan to do in the communities. We are asking our community to partner with us in this. Personally, we feel called to this, and it's a huge step of faith for us to commit to something that is really outside of our reach to make happen on our own. We personally will be investing in this ourselves. We will be selling all of our belongings and leaving our home behind, but also we need the support of the community around us to make it happen. And when it comes to supporting us financially, the best way to do that is through our blog site. Adventures in Missions has given us a blog platform to use as a couple to communicate with friends and family back home. On this site, we'll be posting our ministry and prayer updates throughout the year. You can follow our journey on this blog site by submitting your email, so you get emails when we post any type of ministry update or prayer update. And through the site, you can also make online donations. Those can be made one time, they can be made monthly, whatever the Lord lays on your heart. And if you want to support us via a check, you can use the Contact Us tab to send us an email, and we would love to give you the information on how to do that.
And we are so excited to partner with each of you as we get ready to head out into the World Race. We know that training camp is just around the corner in June, and we are so blessed to be able to head out into the world and to really win people over to God's kingdom and to see Him overcome darkness.
And thank you for letting us share a piece of our hearts with you. We're just so looking forward to connecting with each and every one of you.